There's less than a month before Bleach returns for the Thousand Year Blood War Core 2, and I know everybody is incredibly excited for things to come because what we got throughout the first 13 episodes of Bleach's return was just straight up spectacular, with great animation and art, to just getting to see some of our favorite characters once again and the voice actors coming back to redo their roles. It legitimately was just nostalgic and amazing to just see this series once again in anime form. Which I want to lead your attention over to this Bleach's special one shot that came out over a year and a half ago, almost 2 years at this point, and I feel like this is just a subject that really does not get talked about enough, because we had Tite Kubo, the author of Bleach, just drop this chapter, which just expands the entire universe of Bleach in just such a way that it makes everybody crave for more. And it's wild to me that we got such a crazy chapter with just a continuation of the plot, set up with new characters, etc., getting to see, Ichigo's overall child, and seeing how he has a role to play with Hell itself. And Tite Kubo gave us this, and this was what we were left on. Like, this was the final panel, the final page we got back in August of 2021, which is wild because it's 2023. And, if you really take a good look at this chapter, which, was over 70 pages long, we got one of the things that many fans for a very long time were asking for. The Hell arc. I remember years ago when there was movies of Bleach coming out continuously and we had the anime still airing before Thousand Year Blood War came about, there was a movie. Bleach had a Hell's Arc movie and everybody was very excited, but we were like, wow, could we not get this for, let's say, the anime? But basically, at long last within the manga, Tite Kubo decided to expand upon the Hell arc and let us know that a lot of our characters that are deceased or gone, basically are within Hell itself. Even Yamamoto himself is within Hell, which is legitimately insane to think about, that a lot of our characters that we thought would just pass on or, get to go somewhere nice after they die, legitimately is sentenced to eternal torment within this dimension, aka Hell. And it's actually kind of insane to think about that, once again, Tite Kubo didn't need to do this, but he did. And I've been wondering about this for a long time now. When are we going to get that continuation? Because let's be honest here, it's bound to happen eventually. It's been radio silence since this chapter came out, because obviously, it's clear that Tite Kubo is very busy with, the anime at this point. I mean, he's even had an interview when Core 1 came to an end saying that he was going to be adding more content within the anime and that there was going to be more fights with this upcoming season of Bleach. So it is clear he's very hard at work at, the studio. He's trying to overlook everything, make sure everything's going right, and I do feel like it's very important for the anime to be perceived well. And so, even though I obviously really do want this continuation of Bleach, it makes a lot of sense why we haven't gotten one to this point, but it's just like, wow, it's crazy that, he really did leave us on just one of the biggest cliffhangers of the entire series, and any Bleach fan that obviously has read the manga and has read this chapter is just probably been wondering to themselves, when will we finally get that continuation? If I had to take an educated guess, judging by just like what we know of the anime and also this chapter, I think the earliest we would probably get any form of continuation of Bleach, at least in manga form, would be probably when the Thousand Year Blood War anime comes to an end. We know that it's supposed to apparently be 4 cores, or at least 5 cores, and give or take, episodes, etc. So it's gonna be a long run for Bleach. So if we factor in just like delays, etc., for like, in between cores, etc., when, the seasons come out for Bleach, we're looking at maybe 2.5 years, maybe even 3 years until maybe we will finally get a continuation to this manga chapter, which, once again, it's wild to think about, because this is something that comes into my mind every so often, just thinking about this just overall just big drop of storytelling that Tite Kubo did, and it feels like when he was drawing this chapter, he had a lot of fun with it. He got to revisit a lot of things that he never really got to do when he was doing the manga of Bleach, and I'm happy to see that, just looking at the way the vibe of this chapter was, that he legitimately was having a lot of fun with it. I truly believe that, just looking at the way everything is expressed within these pages. But yeah, this was something I was thinking about, because I know everybody's getting very geared up and hyped for, the upcoming season of Bleach, and I am too. I'm excited to see what new content and just content that I'm excited to see get adapted will be like. But I was just thinking about the manga, and I was just like, man, I wonder when we will finally get this, because I feel like it's something that people might have forgotten about or slipped in the back of their mind to a certain degree, because once again, it's been a while. I mean, you look at here, it's literally been since August 9th, 2021 since we had this come out, and it's been almost 2 years now. So I wanted to remind everybody that Bleach still has a lot of things left to explore. That Tite Kubo still has a whole other journey and another arc that he can literally dive into if he wants to, which I believe eventually will. For this one shot to even be a thing, for us to even have this chapter, it's bound to happen. And I feel like Shonen Jump and, the magazines that's worked with Tite Kubo have definitely given him more leeway and seem to, it seems like the relationship overall has kind of bettered over the years, which I think is legitimately good. But yeah, I want to talk about this. This was on my mind, and I was just thinking about it, because I was, sitting back, I was looking at manga panels of Bleach, and then I was like, I want to reread this chapter again, and then I wanted to kind of comment on it, because I can't believe it's been almost that long since this came out. It feels like this, came out, maybe 7 months ago, not actually almost 2 years ago. That's just wild to me. But, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.